Welcome back, everyone, to episode 8.
We missed you.
We missed you so much. We're so sorry. We're back and ready.
We're back, and we don't plan on taking another break anytime soon. Never. So let's get right into episode 8.
You're blocked with Eden Middleman and Simona Catalano.
Being played isn't fun, girls, but we've all fucking gone through it. And
Honestly.
Oftentimes, a lot of girls and guys sometimes question whether or not they're being played. And the beauty of this, and the weird thing about this, is we're not dumb. So chances are we know we're being played.
Yeah.
But there's so much confusing, contradicting actions, words, things that are said that just mindfuck us. And then we're like, wait, does he like me? Is he just using me? What is going on?
Like, we have a bunch of really good points that, like, I would say if he's doing a handful of these points, you're definitely being played. They usually like to, like, ease into the games, I find. They really, like, are pursuing you in the beginning. They're texting you quick. They, like, want to hang out. They want to see you. And then slowly it just kind of, like, trickles down, and you kind of are left like, wait, what the fuck is happening? What's going on? Totally. There's been, like, a shift in energy. And the first thing that you're going to notice is probably he's being inconsistent.
100%. He is going to be the most inconsistent motherfucker ever in terms of everything and anything involving a possible relationship or a hookup. So that could mean texting, that could mean calling, that could mean plans that fall through. Everything, you name it, he's inconsistent in his behavior, because when you are consistent in your behavior, you can pretty much tell if you're into this person or not. It's really not that hard.
I noticed that, like, when guys bail last minute, like, that's a huge red flag for me. When a guy is, like, super choosy about the times that he wants to see you and, like, the days, and, like, he's iffy and he needs to, like, call the shots, kind of. Like, let's say I'm texting him and I want to initiate, like, going on a date. He's kind of like, no, that day doesn't work for me. Like, let's do this day. And, like, because if you're like me and you want to see them, you're like, yeah, okay, fine. Like, that'll work. Mm-hmm. So, like, you notice maybe you're accommodating him, but he's not accommodating you.
Never. Like, we'll never accommodate your ass ever. Some of these guys will go ahead and tell you, oh, babe, you know I'm so into you. You're so beautiful. You're amazing. Like, of course I'm not seeing anybody. And then his actions will be so goddamn inconsistent.
You know you're fucked. Ladies, if you're like me, it is fucking hard when someone is saying all the right shit. Like, I know actions speak, like, I'm so with you, but sometimes I, like, catch myself in it, and I'm like, even though his actions aren't lining up, I'm just like, the shit that they say, right? You're like, but why would you say this shit? Like, they make you, like, believe that they want to marry you.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, like, are you a sociopath? Like, what the
Definitely. They don't have the heart to fucking say straight up they're not into you. So they'll say they're into you because they're like, well, yeah, like, I'm into your vagina. Yeah, I'm into the sex. But, like, I can't commit to you because there's so many other fish in the sea. Sometimes it comes from a place of, like, I can't vocalize the fact that I'm not interested in committing, right, which is what I did being the player in some situations in the past.
Right, but it's not even that, like, they're not necessarily into you. It's more so about them in their headspace. Like, they just don't want anything from anyone. 100%. They just want to just be with everybody and just live that free life. And honestly, I feel like in order to find your husband, like, he needs to have a hoe phase, ladies. He needs to have a hoe phase. Everybody's getting played. Charge it to the game and move the fuck on, okay?
Yeah.
I would say that if he's bailing last minute and not rescheduling, he's a fuckboy.
Totally.
That's the point I wanted to make.
And even, you know what, Simona, you mentioned something, like, before, like, no follow-up, which is so important. It's like, okay, well, if I'm bailing, like, make a follow-up plan. Let me know you're sorry. Explain to me why. Oftentimes a player will not give a flying fuck to explain to you what happened.
I've literally had guys bail last minute and, like, you know, something came up, but then, like, hours later they went out with their boys and I'm like, wait, what?
Ooh.
Do I say something? I'm just like, oh, like, how was your night? And he's like, oh yeah, like, meant to tell you, like, just move on, ladies. Delete the number.
Move the fuck on.
How did I find out that he went out?
Social media.
Exactly. Gotta love her. We revert back to social media a lot because it honestly is such a big part of dating. Like you find so much shit out from social media.
It literally is how we date nowadays. It's how we find our fucking significant others, how we find our next victims, if you want to play them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will never.
Our victims. Our next victim. Oh my God.
You can tell I'm like mentally unstable. If he's playing you guys, he doesn't want fucking his other girls to know. That's just straight up the whole social media thing.
Right.
He doesn't want his other bitches to know or to feel some type of way or to get the hint that they're all being played and then fucking dip him. Because honestly, even if a girl is not ready to commit, she doesn't want to know that there's a million other girls in the picture. So
it's just not a vibe, guys.
It's a turn off. It's a turn off. It's gross.
Yeah.
So he will.
What do you want me to compete with other people?
Right. And he will never post you on his stories, even if you guys are going out in groups. He will never comment on your shit publicly, girl. He's always going to slide in the DMs. He's going to keep it that way. Another little tip, and this is something that I've done, and something that I've noticed guys do too, is they will mute you, or not mute you. They'll block you from their stories. So if they are going out and canceling on you last minute, you will never fucking know.
Oh my God, that's actually insane. No, wait, you can tell if someone's blocked you from their stories.
How?
Because remember when we were in Vegas, I blocked someone from my stories and he like messaged me and was like, why can't I click your story? Like I see you have a story, but like when I click it, it doesn't come up.
No, that's a glitch. Like they can't see that you even have a story active unless you're public. Unless you're public, they can go online. So go to Instagram.com/their profile name. Then you can access if they're a public account. So you can see it if the story is there. If they're private, you're out of fucking luck. If they blocked you.
Okay, well, I was public though.
That's why.
So they could see that I had a story.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's why. So,
okay, so
there we go. We just helped you guys out, okay?
Word of advice, if you are planning, I mean, this is total side note, but word of advice, if you are planning on blocking someone from your story, go fucking private, girl. Because if you're public, anyone can access it from any computer. You don't even have to have a fucking Instagram to do so. So take that into consideration.
Oh my God, good tips, good tips. We're learning a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of being public and private, you might notice, this is our third big point, you guys usually only chill in private. Like you're not really going on like exclusive dates per se. It's not a one-on-one situation. And you might find that like, even if you are chilling with him, because like I've had guys play the shit out of me, but like I've been out in public with them. Like we'll go places, we'll have like a few drinks, we'll go to a bar or something, but it's still very private. Like nobody knows either one of you. It's like a random place. Do you know what I mean?
If he does take you out in public, which will be a very rare occasion if he's playing you, he will be looking over his shoulder, making sure his other girls are not out and about, his other boys are not out and about. He doesn't want people to know about you, babe. Like you're invisible. Like he doesn't want you to exist in his life publicly. He's never going to be super affectionate with you in public. He's never going to hold your hand. If you bump into him accidentally in public, he's going to be so fucking awkward. He'll basically run the fuck away. Like I've seen this happen. You see him and you're like, oh, hey, Tom. And he's just like, oh, what's up?
Oh, hey, like acting like really distant. And if you just take, again, a glance, scan the room. Who is in the vicinity? Who is in that same perimeter? Chances are there's a girl lurking somewhere.
Definitely.
Whenever that happens to me, I like to go right up to the girl. I tend to ignore him. I'm like, hey, fuck you. I'm like, yo, let me just talk to you real quick. Like, it's totally good because, listen, we're not about fighting. Like, girl beef is so ugly. Like, just don't. I'm always just like, hey, girl, just want you to know that, like, we were talking and, like, last night we were hooking up and now I guess he's with you. So just a heads up that he's probably playing you because he played me.
And, like, you can totally tell her you have chlamydia so that she gets, like, a little scare, and then you can leave.
Yeah, like, just a little scared of him and her, and just like, what the fuck? Anyways, this goes into point number 4. The reason why he doesn't want to be in public with you is because the main goal is that he just wants to hook up. That's literally all it is.
Girls, unfortunately, and I hate saying this, but most guys look at us as just a fucking thing to fuck. Like, just a fucking thing to fuck, okay? And that's okay because you could be on the same level, too, if you're okay with that. Like,
you could be a Samantha Jones. We love that. We love that.
Samantha Jones moment. But chances are if he's playing you, you will understand that the entire point of your friendship relationship, whatever the fuck you think it is based
Right.
off the hookup. The hookup is the main activity that goes on. It's a must. Like, he will talk you up before the hookup. He'll make sure it's Netflix and chill all the time in the evenings at a certain time, like on his fucking schedule. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely always in private, because that is what he wants. That's the goal. And you will notice he will be on all fours, literally begging for your vagina. And then once he gets it, it's not always the same.
You guys are always hooking up and you don't have an encounter where it's just like, just chill. Like, let's say you're just going for a walk and you're grabbing a coffee and like, you're just having like a really good deep chat.
Right.
If you guys are not able to hang out without hooking up, that's a huge red flag.
I find that a lot of guys too can't hold that conversation very long. Like, you might be able to get into like really great conversations, but after a while he's going to kind of get tired and boring and be like, okay, like the main purpose of me being here is to like get inside of her. So like, you'll notice that the guy is like really into the conversation, then suddenly he fucking snaps and he's like, okay, so like, babe, like let's do less talking or something.
Yeah, it's like the mood changes and he's like, hey, let's like, and you're like, all right.
And another thing is even if you are for the hookup and after you hook up, he's weird after he busts a nut, guys. Like, this is what always happens.
Yeah.
For a lot of guys, it's natural. However, if he's into you, he's going to like cuddle you. He's going to be a little bit more sweet about it. It's not going to be awkward after he cleans.
It's going to be a little bit more like romantic because they actually like you. Whereas like once he like busts his nut, you can feel it. The energy in the room just like shifts. Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, if you're thinking like, why am I here? This is so awkward. Like, you know,
if you feel unwanted after that, you know you need it. First of all, girls, just like a little tip, get the fuck out. Like, just leave. Don't stay the night. Don't be a fucking little leech. Just leave. Like it's gross. That's how you play him back. But anyways, that's besides the point. You'll never be caught dead sleeping over, I think, too. Like, he'll never offer. If you do sleep over, forget about the next morning breakfast and a cute little day together. It's not happening. He will rush out of that place so quickly with some excuse, like, oh my God, babe, I got work. Oh my God, I have to do this. Oh my God, I really forgot. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. He'll wake up and get you the fuck out. Funny story. I heard of this guy who was so fucking grossed out that the girl stayed over the night, but he didn't have the heart to tell her to leave. So what he did was he literally, he's like, I gotta go to work. He leaves his condo, gets in his car. The girl's like, okay, like, I'm gonna leave. He watches her leave, drives around the block, then comes back and goes back home.
So, like, I'm actually mortified. My fucking heart just went into my vagina. Are you kidding me?
Guys will go to the lengths they need to go to play your ass. Simple facts.
Another tip, ladies, if you are a wife, just don't subject yourself to this bullshit, okay? Just don't fucking do it.
Don't do it. And if you want to know how to not do it, we did an episode about playing the player. You should go check that out. I'm sure that you might be able to tell whether or not he knows something or nothing about you. Normally, a player will know barely anything about you, not really care to know. Even if you're telling him that, he won't take it in. He won't notice. He won't fucking know when your birthday is. He won't know typical things. And you feel like you know a little bit more than he does.
Like, it's one way or the other, like vice versa. So, like, I've had more often times than not, I usually know not a lot about them and they know a lot about me, just because like if I'm into someone, I tend to just talk about shit that like I like, and like I'm just naturally a very open person. So like I've had conversations with Ian where she'll be like, okay, well what does he like to do, or like what, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, so and I'm like, and that's a red fucking flag. Like, if your best friend is asking you questions that like you should know the answer to. Mm-hmm. And like, I've had times where I've like tried to ask questions and you can just, they're dodging it. They're not really interested in it. They're like taking forever to answer back. This is part of the inconsistency part too. Mm-hmm. Is just like, he's not that into like making this be something that's going to be fruitful.
He's putting a wall because he's like, bitch, I don't want you to know shit about me because this isn't nothing. This is just a fucking
yeah. He's not into it in that capacity.
Yeah. So that's the mindset with what I mean by like, you know, normally if I'm into a guy, I'm very observant. So I don't even have to ask him questions.
But if you're having a conversation with someone, there's certain things that like you guys like naturally, like your past, or like, you know, what you guys do on like the regular, like do you guys travel a lot? Like what's his like lifestyle? Like if you don't really know then there's like probably a good chance he's like hiding something from you.
100%. Like, you're not gonna fucking know shit. Like, you'll only know what he wants you to know. That's simple. And like, girls, that is also something that you should do and be mindful of as well. Take your power back, and also don't give it all up. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Don't give it all up. Be smart, just like this guy's being smart. Yeah, it's fucking messed up, but like, that's how I go about any sort of relationship, especially at the beginning. Another thing that you probably don't know is about his buddies, or he definitely has not met your friends. This is really important. The friend groups are huge, right?
Yeah, the friend groups are fucking, well, yes, and complicated. We're going to get into it.
So it's more like, did you meet the boys? Like, this is a huge question. Do you know any of his boys? Did he introduce you? Most of the times you probably have not met his boys. And if you have, they are going to be a little weird around you, or they're going to completely ignore you.
Listen to me. Some of you are probably like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, I've met the boys. And I just want you to know that like every single time I've been played, I've met the fucking boys. This is my theory. He wants you to meet the boys because the boys are helping to convince you that he's not fucking playing you. Kind of want the boys to approve of you. So like in your brain, you're thinking this is a huge fucking moment. He brings in the boys sometimes, I would say, to confuse you.
Right.
Because more often than not, whenever I've met the boys, I've been like, but like I met the boys, guys.
The boys are in on it. The boys are in on it. Chances are, if he's a fucking player, his boys are too. They validate this. They give each other props for this. You bring out a girl with us, bro, like you're fucking next. Last weekend you brought Stacy. This week you're bringing Tracy. Like, it's just popping for the boys.
Like, do the boys know about you, or is he introducing you to the boys?
They don't know about you, and if they do know about you, they know of you, but they're confused because there's 10 of you. So
right. So like usually he's like, guys, this is Simona, and I'm like, oh. You didn't think I just
not Stacy
did there? Because fucking Stacy was here last night. You don't want them to call me Stacy. You can use this time when you meet the boys or when you guys are all hanging out as times, like you said, to observe the boys or like how the boys act with other girls. Because it's usually like they're talking to a bunch of girls and they're like buying a bunch of girls drinks. And so just like gauge it. Like also watch how the boys behave with other girls and interact, because that's how he's probably interacting when you're not there.
Who you decide to hang out with says a lot about you. That's just simple, and it's always been like my biggest thing. If my guys' friends are fucking garbage, I'm gonna be like, ooh, reel it back in. Let's like take a moment and fucking
let's take 5 and reassess here.
Let's call Simona and talk about this. I think that also, Simona, you brought up an amazing point about him never meeting your friends, because guys know that if there is an army of girls sitting there looking at your man, they're not just meeting you, they're fucking analyzing the living shit out of you, and they're going to tell Simona or me or whoever it is that's being played that, hey, like, he's a fucking player, because they can read through shit.
Exactly. And I also want to say here to the girls that are being assholes to other girls, like I've had times where he's like introduced me to his girlfriends that are friends, and they're like, oh my God, like he likes you so much, like talking you up and saying all this shit. Like, to those fucking girls, yo, get lost and fucking get a life, because that's like the worst thing you could fucking do to another girl. Like, really?
What goes around comes around. Like, bitch, you're gonna get
that's not part of girl code. Check episode fucking 6.
Yes. I think it's 7.
I think it's 7.
Another thing, and this is just something we're going to skim over, is you are never the +1. So forget about family events. You'll never meet the parents. Forget about gatherings. Forget about important things that are close to him. You are not the +1. You will never be. He might have 1,000,001 other girls. No girl that is being played is going to be a +1. Be careful, though, because if it's a weekend getaway with the boys or whatever, he might want you as entertainment. So be careful. Gauge it. If he is doing everything that we just said is a red flag, chances are he's being played, and if you're the +1 for a boys' weekend, fucking means jack shit. And he's
who the fuck wants to be a +1 for the boys' weekend? Like, fuck the boys. I'm not the chill, go with the flow girl, so like, I'll let you play me for like a minute, because like I just want to see if I'm right. But then like if you're really irritating me and doing a lot of this shit, which they usually are, I'm like, yo, just tell me what it is. Like, tell me what it is and tell me what it's not, because like I'm not trying to do this. Like, here's the thing. You're with it or you're not. Pick a side.
Exactly. Here's the thing is, like, there are some girls out there who are okay with being played. Like, they're playing you too. It's just a matter of letting them know point blank, hey, I'm seeing other people. I hope you are too. If you're on the same page, great. We can fuck around. If not, then no. If she is like this unattainable girl and you suddenly got her, whatever, but you don't want to commit because you're a fucking loser, then that's fine. But just know that she is owed an explanation, because the minute she finds out, you're fucked, guys. Like, you are fucked. Girls, the aftermath, that feeling of being used and played, is the most betraying, fucking uncomfortable feeling in the world.
Once it's solidified in my brain that you're playing me, I'm like, someone get me a garbage. I have to throw up.
And retaliation is not pretty. Like, we'll be fucking after you. The whole you're blocked.
Oh my God. All you need is like one fire Insta and he is like back.
Like a fucking puppy. Like
a fucking puppy.
Don't blame yourself if you have been played. It's a learning curve.
It really is. The universe is just trying to teach us something.
Guys are playing really hard right now. Their tactics are getting more and more advanced as we go on in this world. Like, it's crazy.
They really are. I've known about guys that will literally fly girls out to them strategically, like just for playing them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
My head like literally explodes and has a brain aneurysm. Like, how are you gonna fly me out? And you're just playing me. Like, for me, if I'm being flown out and I'm coming, like, yo, I like you.
Yeah.
So when that's happening, and this is why, like, we're so confused, because they're really just like next level. Like, the moves, like, they're basically telling you that they love you and they want to marry you, but then fly off the face of the earth. They like never call you again. They ghost you. They like deactivate everything, like get a new life, a new identity, like move across the country. It's just insane.
If he's doing that, and if you realize that, and God willing, you realize it sooner than later, he is not a man, because that's a fucking cowardly way of fucking being with girls. If you're going to fly them out, if you're going to do this, if you're going to do that, and then suddenly you're going to dip, you're a fucking pussy. And us girls, unless you're into
literally a loser.
Don't be butthurt over the fact that you got played. It's a learning curve, like we said, and like, just be equipped, knowing this, taking things easy. Don't jump. You're never going to fucking meet the one immediately. Like, it takes time for you to understand and learn and grow for yourself, to understand what the fuck you're looking for and who the fuck this person is. Like, you got to be careful, because there are players out there, girls too. Like, I was a big player, and I'm not going to lie about that. And it just didn't work for me in terms of committing. I didn't want to commit. There's nothing wrong with that. But I now learned just how many people I hurt in that process. And now I know I need to make it very clear by verbalizing, hey, I'm not interested in dating. And that's just facts. And that's just it. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing he can do about it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
You'll notice, like, you'll get played and you'll be confused 95% of the time, which is like totally like a familiar feeling for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I fuck with someone that like actually likes me, I'm like, whoa, like I know this person fucks with me because everything is the opposite. Like I'm never concerned. I'm never worried. Like they message you back on time. Like if they like you, you'll know. And if you don't, you're going to be confused.
I think maturity is the biggest thing that comes into question here. If a man likes you and he's a fucking man, he's not going to play games with you. He's going to make it obvious.
He's either ready or he's not. Like you're either the one or you're not. And like that's something that I just came to like terms with, because like I used to be like, yo, I'm the fucking one for like everybody. And now I'm like, yo, maybe I'm just not the one for you. And like, honestly, like you're lost. Like, bye. Just keep on keeping on. Be pure. Always be the person that fucking cares. Don't be an asshole, and just tell everybody the way it is from the get-go. So you just save everybody's time.
And if you have any doubts, you can call him out on this shit, girl. I give you permission. And if you don't get the answer you want, walk the fuck away. There are plenty of fucking fish in the sea. I know you don't feel like it right now.
I know. We always want that one specific salmon, eh? It's like, no, I don't want the other ones. I want this one.
A little stinky. He's a little stinky.
Ew. Yeah, it's like not good. We don't like the fish in the sea analogy.
Other cucumbers in the supermarket. It's fine.
Oh, I like that one. Nice organic cucumbers.
Vegetarian friendly.
Friendly. Fresh.
Crunchy. Okay.
Did you say raunchy or crunchy?
Crunchy.
Crunchy.
If you guys are interested, or if you have like a little situation that you're in that you want us to maybe analyze as best as we can with the information you give us, send us a DM. It's totally private. Me and Simone are the only ones looking at it. we can even get on one of our episodes and do an episode about it. So if you guys have some whack story and you want us to like analyze it, like I'm down to do that. I think it's amazing.
Thank you guys for coming back, and we will definitely see you guys again next week because we're not missing episodes anymore.
I'm not.
And, just enjoy the rest of your week, and thanks so much for watching.
Don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, follow us on Instagram, and we love you so much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you back here next Monday, 9 a.m. sharp, and I think that's it.
9 a.m. sharp. Bye, guys.
Bye.